Thursday, April 4, Interactions. The Bible is a book of relationships. God created us to be in relationship with others. Indeed, very few of us live in complete isolation. For starters, none of us could even come into existence but for others. Even after birth, we need others to take care of us, at least until a certain age when, in principle at least, we could exist on our own. And even if we could, who would want to? Most of us need and crave the company and companionship of other human beings. Though pets, such as dogs, can be delightful companions, in the end, the deepest and most meaningful and life-changing interactions come through other people. No wonder, then, that the family and family relationships are so crucial to our existence. Because most of us do interact, often all the time, with others, these interactions can and often do impact the changes and rhythms of our lives. They work two ways, though. Others, in their interactions with us, impact our lives. We, meanwhile, in our interactions with others, can impact their lives. And whether we realize it or not, and many times we don't, those interactions, in either direction, can be either for good or for evil. How crucial, then, for us to be proactive at all times, so that our inevitable influence on others is always for the good, especially on those with whom we are closest, which are usually our own family members. Question: read the following texts. What do they tell us to do in our interactions with others? Romans 15, verse 7. Therefore, receive one another, just as Christ also received us, to the glory of God. And Ephesians 4, verse 2. With all lowliness and gentleness, with long-suffering, bearing with one another in love. And Ephesians 4, verse 32, and be kind to one another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as God in Christ forgave you. And 1 Thessalonians 3:12, and may the Lord make you increase and abound in love to one another and to all, just as we do to you. And James 5, verse 16, confess your trespasses to one another, and pray for one another, that you may be healed. The effective, fervent prayer of a righteous man avails much. In many ways, the principle is simple. If we act nicely, kindly, and compassionately toward others, we will be a positive influence upon them, even to the point where we could change their lives in a very positive manner. Just as Jesus changes people's lives in a very positive manner, what a privilege for us to do something similar for others as well. Again, we must remember our influence is going to be either for good or for evil, even in subtle ways. And nowhere is this influence, subtle or not, more pronounced than in our families. And so to finish today, look at the two following statements of Jesus, Luke 11:34 and Mark 4:24 and 25. What are they saying about the importance of how we interact with others? Luke 11, verse 34, the lamp of the body is the eye, and therefore when your eye is good, your whole body also is full of light. But when your eye is bad, your body also is full of darkness. And Mark 4, verses 24 and 25. Then he said to them, take heed what you hear. With the same measure you use, it will be measured to you. And to you who hear, more will be given. For whoever has, to him more will be given. But whoever does not have, even what he has will be taken away from him. You have been listening to a reading of the Adult Sabbath School Bible Study Guide by Dr. Percy Harold from Queensland, Australia. This service is brought to you by Hope Channel, the Sabbath School Department, and Christian Services for the Blind. Remember, God is always faithful.